Alright, so you see me throwing a frog here. I'm throwing a frog for a couple of reasons. One, this is the perfect cover to throw a frog. Okay, we're in the first week of June. I got, coontail covered up with, dollar pads, matted up with scattered lily pads, with a couple of feet of water, 2 to 4 feet of water underneath it. Absolutely perfect, right? The conditions, the sky, high blue, big sun, perfect, right? Okay, so that's what you're looking for. The fish are going to be tight to cover, buried up in cover, that kind of thing. And you want to be open-minded about this and observant. You want to just have some situational awareness, if you will. Another good clue to throw a frog is I'm hearing right now bluegill popping and snapping, okay? And I see them come to the surface here every once in a while, a little splashing and things like that. So there's activity here, so there's bait fish here. So the sky conditions are right, high blue, big sun, cover conditions are right, and you're physically, visibly noticing activity, you're hearing it, you're seeing it. Throw a frog. The other thing, normally I'll either throw a white or a black frog, depending on the conditions, but with the bluegill, this yellow orange belly, brown, little bit of blue mixed in here with on the tail, mimics a bluegill extremely well. So I'm just kind of going all in, if you will, on this frog deal. So gonna kind of gauge the activity of the fish and then go from there. I'm probably gonna flip up pick up a big grass jig and flip that around if I don't get anything coming up on the frog. All right, little tip for you.
There you go.
Thank you. There should have been one hiding here. That's the best fish so far.
Yeah. Probably about a pound and a half.
Yeah, maybe a little better. Camera running too. So a couple other tips for frog fishing that work for me, okay? It's important to mention that. So first thing, I'm not just making a random cast, okay? I'm actually, even though this looks like a big flat mat of lily pads, dollar pads, matted up coontail, cut off coontail, I'm trying to throw the frog at a specific spot, like where two types of the grass come together, where an open area or thin or sparsely covered is right next to a heavy area, that definition right there, right on that line. But obviously I'm not leaving any stone unturned. I'm going to also throw in the thickest part, thin parts, just trying to cover it all, but I'm trying to be specific on the cast. So the other thing is, when the frog lands, or your bait lands, any bait for that matter, I try not to move it, okay? Because you're gonna spook a fish if there was a fish right then and there, and be surprised. You just instinct, whatever, fishing luck. Where you throw the frog, you believe there's a fish, and a lot of times there is. Okay, so let us sit there for a little bit. See, I'm seeing more activity back there. Fish coming out of the water trying to eat dragonflies and things like that. So I try to leave it there for a bit, let the fish kind of calm down from the frog hitting, and then I'll start to work it back. The other thing is too, if it's heavy cover like this, I like to keep the rod tip high, like 10 to 11, let's say. That way there, when you get a bite, you have to drop the rod to set the hook, giving you just a few more fractions of a second for that fish to eat it. Okay. If it's on loose, sparse cover with some open water, I like to keep the rod tip high as well, because that keeps the line from laying on the water and them seeing that line moving ahead of the frog. Thick cover, it really doesn't matter. You can put the rod tip down, and after you've had a couple of bites, you can do that and keep the rod tip down low and work the bait. It's just, you're going to have to get into that habit of, when you get the bite, when one blows up on it, just hesitate for a second, make sure he's got it and pulling away, and then set the hook. All right, so just a little bit more on how I fish a frog. All right, appreciate it.